In today's video, I'm going to be covering the Elmsley count, which is a very, very wonderful and venerable technique. And I decided to divide it into two parts. First is the actual Elmsley count technique and its multiple applications, and just some basic ideas and where to find more sources for it. And then in part two, I'm actually going to teach a wonderful trick applying what we've learned so far in a unique way with the trick I came up with for just the situation. So, first, the Elmsley count itself. It has lots of applications. We're going to use a King of Hearts for this, just for the basic ideas of the sleight. And then we got a bunch of random cards as well. And in essence, it's the ability to be able to hide, add, or just it has a variety of uses cases. And it's better to see it than to explain it. So, in essence, I can show the King of Hearts. Okay. And with the spin per se, you can actually get the King of Hearts to just go just like that, per se. Another little spin, and it can come back. That's one use case of it. You can also use the Elmsley count to count more than like a bunch of cards, let's say a bunch of them, as just four, as an exaggeration. 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. I know those are a bigger pack. I should probably use the less to give a more realistic example. Maybe add one more. That's like 5 cards as 4. 5 as 4 is an example. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're hiding one card. You could also use them the same way to, let me see if I can demonstrate it. We'll use these. And we'll use just these 3 cards. So you can see these 3. You could use this 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll do it again. Just 3 cards, but yet you can count them using the Elmsley count as 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, or even 5 if you decide to go down the additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little bit less realistic, but you know. But it definitely has 4 cards. You can do that. It seems real in that case, and you can even use it as an additive to hide multiple cards as well. Again, there's unlimited uses, but just being able to do it is just such a wonderful technique. And then there you go. So I wanted to cover the basics of it and just the wonderful uses of it. So have one card face up. I just use the King of Hearts as a point of reference and some contrasting cards. And what we're going to do is, to begin, we have the card third from the top, and that is where the card, throughout the sleights, the cards will remain hidden if it's at the third position, or from third position in between here, and just not on bottom. So it can't be on bottom, second from top, or on top, as the sleight will not work. So I could even demonstrate it. If it's second from the top, you will be able to see it during the sleight, but as soon as it hits third from the top, you can't see it. And making sure to always hide it to cover the move. So to go into it, we have it at third position right here. Just start out the basics, okay? And then we have 3 cards around it. We square everything up. And how to do the move itself? Let me see if I can turn this way. I might need to lower the ISO just a little bit to add some clarification. My apologies. 1 second. Let's try about here and see how this works. Let's see if this will work. There's just a lot of reflection off these cards. That's crazy. Okay, so to begin, we do it with our dominant hand. It will be in dominant hand. And the position could be either, let me see how I would do it. I'm not sure if I do straddle or mechanics. Let me begin. Let me see. So I can do it in mechanics as well as straddle. You can do it in either, but a suggestion could be starting in mechanics grip. 4 finger right here, 3 fingers along the sides, thumb right here. And to begin, we use our thumb. Our thumb will push the cards from its normal position. It could be around the center or around the angel, right around this area. And we just lift it up so it goes up and out just slightly. Let me see if I can get close up on this. Right here. Okay. It just goes, let me see. Let me actually, since it's better right there, let me adjust the position so you can see it more clearly. Okay. So from here, our thumb will lift it up and out, like so. So up and out just about this much. Okay. And then from here, our hands, our first finger, second finger, and thumb are going to just hold the rest of the pack of the other 3 cards. Again, the King of Hearts is third from the top, and I'm using this just as a point of reference. So you up and out. Okay, so we got the card that's just coming out right here. We take the packet and take the top card. Okay. I wonder if I can actually tilt it right here. Yeah, I wonder if I can do it right there. Yeah, I think I can make it work right. I'm going to be a little bit more out of focus, but this will be all right for the teaching purposes. So up and out. Okay. I take the dominant hand takes the top card. The recessive hand is holding the packet right here between the first finger, second finger from below, and thumb on top. Now, here's the interesting part, and this is the part where most people have to practice. Using our thumb, we nudge off the top 2 cards, leaving the last card from behind. And so you can see it's very, very small. With practice, you can get smaller. You can exaggerate in the beginning, about this much. Okay. And this second card is the cover card for the king right next to it. So going from the beginning, I've taken off 1. Okay. And now this is in my dominant hand, and I pushed off these 2. These 2 are trying to look like a double, but they kind of slide together. It doesn't need to be perfect in the beginning, so don't worry about it. So it just looks like so. Okay, and then from here, the 2 things are going to happen at once. The left hand, or the dominant hand rather, is going to take the card in a kind of a clip position, and it's going to, with the thumb clip, is going to take the card and align it with the bottom card to the best of its ability, or close to it. And it's going to align it as you take, and you don't take the first card, you leave it behind. As you take the top 2 cards together as one into your hand. Okay. So going back, we have slid off the top card right here. Let me see if I can get a reference. There we go. It's just keeping that point of reference. So taking off, there we go. Pushed off 2 right here. Okay. And then we add this top card back to the bottom. Take the 2. This is a double with the king right here. Okay. And then we use our thumb to take the 3rd card on top of those cards. And then normally, assuming context, it really depends on context, you can then add this card to the top, leaving the king at the 4th position. Now what makes it different, if I may go back, so top card out, and then push off 2, taking this card you just took, add it to the bottom, taking the next card, and you can add on top, but, and then I know this is a point of contention for people, like by 1/3 from the position back where it was, you could take this top card and then just put it on bottom as you finish up the slide. And that's how you reset the position to back to where it was. So 1, take off the top card, push off 2, taking 2 with the secret card right there, taking the thumbing off the 3rd card, and thumbing off that first card you just took. If you wanted the selection to the bottom, and if not, you just take the top card and add it underneath as you're finishing up the slide. So in actual motion, assuming I'm adding a card back to the bottom, it'll look like this: 1, 2, 3, and then 4. And I add that card back to the bottom, so I've got it reset like that. And it looks very nice. It looks very nice. And I know there's other counts out there, Jordan count and a bunch of others out there, but this one just has so many uses. You could even use it to, assuming the cards are identical or very similar in nature. So let's see. You can use it. I know it's used in like famous tricks like reset, for example. You can use it to count very similar cards like the 5s and the 2s. You can make it seem like, assuming this one's on top, the 1 single 2's on top, you can make it seem as if there's 4 cards, the 2s and the 5s, 1, 2, 3, 4 cards, 5s and 2s, and that can sell illusion. So there's endless amounts of uses for it, and the amount of tricks you can do with it were greatly expanded upon and elaborated upon in books like the Alex Elmsley volumes 1 and 2, available from L&L EPUB, as well as the regular standard books. I know Divernian's probably come up with some stuff. He did it. Oh, he used in his Ace effect the I forget the name of the effect. It was in his Chronicles, the Vernon Chronicles, where the aces turn over. I forget the name. I know Magician's going to kill me right now on that. But that was a very great effect as well. And there's just endless amount of uses. But Alexander Elmsley, who invented the Elmsley count, has a bunch of it in his large volumes of how to use the effect. And a lot of them are very interesting for use. So this is part 1 on the Elmsley count and how to use it for general purposes. So I hope it was useful to you in the context for maybe learning a trick or whatever you need to do. And this is part 1 for the Elmsley count. In part 2, I'm actually going to cover a lovely little trick you can do with it, and I think you'll enjoy it. So with that said, see you next video.